always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Is my microphone gone funny again? Oh no. I think my microphone's, oh no, hasn't. Has maybe? A bit quieter than normal? Okay. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on there. Have to set that up again. Okay, Carolyn Levitt parody account said Rep. Anna Paulina Luna has called for mandatory drug testing of all members of Congress. Do you support this? A, yes, test per month. B, yes, test per quarter. C, yes, test half a year. D, yes, test per year. E, yes, test per week. And F, yes, test per day. And G, no. Yep, Justin, Elon Musk says it's a great idea to implement a mandatory immediate drug test for all federal workers. Would you agree with this? I would. Considering what we're up against these days, I would. Okay, the Skiff says Trump cuts NGOs funding while Singham and Soros subpoenaed to Congress for riots and election interference. This is huge. Not one of these protests or riots are organic, and now their entire cash flow was just cut off and will have to answer to Congress and the people. These riots and groups are specifically orchestrated to dismantle Trump, his administration, and to completely overwhelm and destroy the United States and flood our country with illegal immigrants. This was done to numerous other countries and regimes that they wanted to destroy and take over since the early 70s. This has always been the plan. Once America fails, the rest of the world will follow and it's all over. That's why America is the last stand for all of us. They cannot succeed unless America falls. This is extremely important to understand. They're well organised and highly funded by taxpayer dollars and communist global billionaires tied to rogue groups of our own intelligence agencies and others. Cut off the funding, stop the destruction and burning of our cities. Do you really believe these people are rioting and risking their freedom for nothing? They are paid, and very well at that, sometimes thousands of dollars per week. Getting a subpoena for George Soros in general is a huge positive move forward, to stopping this highly funded chaos destroying our country and should have been done decades ago. We are now in a position to hold the ones responsible for these riots and destruction accountable. The reason nothing ever happened before is because the ones in control were the ones involved. Now it's our turn and there will be no mercy. On top of the riots, there will also be an investigation into exactly just how much Soros played a role and how much funding was contributed to manipulate the outcome of our election system by foreign interference. This is a huge milestone and we must continue to push for justice. And Donald J. Trump posted this. Congressman Kevin Kiley's no tax dollars for riots legislation should be passed immediately. I'm hereby instructing my administration not to pay any money to these radicalised groups regardless of the legislation. They get paid to incite riots, burn down or destroy a city, then come back to the trough to get money to help rebuild it. No more money. That's great. I would love that too. Oh dear. How you going, Deb, Lucette, Kai, and Zena? How you going, guys? The persistence said I'm okay with the Senate reading out loud all 940 pages of the big, beautiful bill, because it will be the very first time that many members of Congress actually had to comprehend an entire bill. And I believe a lot of the public got to listen to it too. MAGA Voice has said, is it too much to ask Republicans in Congress to start working for the American people? Because a lot of them are rhinos who are just, Republican in name only. Ian Yeager said Don Bacon, Mitch McConnell and Thom Tillis are all retiring from Congress. I voted for this. Yeah, just after Thom Tillis, or whatever his name is, just voted against Trump's bill and that now he's retiring. Mandy Hare said, good morning to everyone who knows we need a total reboot in Congress. Mandy said, has anyone tried unplugging Congress and plugging it back in? I wish we could do that to Australia, the UK, New Zealand, Canada, Ireland, everywhere. Can we unplug it and try and plug it back in? Josh Dunlap said, breaking, it's official, ActBlue officials have been subpoenaed. They're now legally obligated to testify before Congress over widespread fraud regarding their fundraising platform for the Democrat Party. ActBlue, Soros, the whole lot of them. Okay, C3 said members of Congress should not have dual citizenship, no exceptions. The Dual Loyalty Disclosure Act must be passed. It's totally ridiculous that America's public servants might also be serving another country's public. It also explains so much. Yeah, it does. They infiltrated instead of invaded. MAGA Voice said just in, Donald Trump has a message for every Republican in Congress, pass the big beautiful bill. Donald Trump said, for all cost-cutting Republicans, of which I am one, remember, you still have to get re-elected. Don't go too crazy. We will make it all up times 10 with growth more than ever before. So all the people saying, oh, but it's spending money. Yeah, you're going to make a lot more. Sam Parker said Americans overwhelmingly opposed the 1965 Immigration Act, which opened the country to non-whites. 2.4 to 1. Congress passed it anyway. IOW. America's never decided to become multicultural. It was forced on us. Ooh. Okay, yet how could immigration reformers change a policy regime that was widely popular? A Harris poll released in May 1965 showed the public strongly opposed to easing of immigration laws by a 2-to-1 margin, 58%, 24%. This must have discouraged immigration liberalisers, but they knew that a great burst of society legislation was beginning to pour through Congress in the mid-60s, most of it not generated out of public demand or even understanding, but out of the unique circumstances created by Kennedy's death, Johnson's legislative skills, and the intellectual and political collapse of American conservatism. Whoa. Okay. Beer drinking army vet said, just spitballing here, but maybe if we required Congress to read aloud every single bill, they'd stop writing 1,000-page monstrosities. Yeah, well, that would maybe work. Raymond McCowan said Albanese squawking and slurring, having a train wreck presser, trying to justify why he won't or cannot meet with President Trump. Albanese keeps repeating we engage with everyone in the United States. He repeated that over and over, of course, except him with the president. Yeah, here we go, between Australia and America at the moment. Sky News Australia said Donald Trump's former pollster has urged Australia to dump Kevin Rudd as its US ambassador, telling Sky News Australia he's a major barrier to Anthony Albanese securing a meeting with the US president. Yes, because there's an arrogant, ignorant little moron. I'm going to skip past these ones because I don't have the time this morning. Someone's desperately trying to get through. No, it's notifications from God knows what. Eric Doherty said breaking, President Trump announces he'll be meeting with primary challenger contenders against Senator Tom Tillis after Tillis voted not to advance the big beautiful bill. Talk about a FAFO moment. I'll be meeting with them over the coming weeks, looking for someone who will properly represent the great people of North Carolina and, so importantly, the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay. Rooted Wings said, how the heck did we end up here? This is a California senator. Insane. This person, obviously. Okay. We're back to the pride flags, are we? Gunther Eagleman said, breaking, after getting nuked by Trump, Senator Tom Tillis has announced he will not seek re-election. Good effing riddance. Okay, Jessica said after 16 hours, Senate clerks finally finished reading the one big beautiful bill. Despite demanding the entire thing be read, Senator Chuck Schumer did not stick around to listen to it. So he demanded it be read, and then he didn't stick around to listen to it. He went home to sleep while the clerks stayed up all night. Well, he shouldn't, if he can't be in Congress when he's supposed to be, then he shouldn't be in the job. Especially if he ordered it in the first place. Chicago One Ray said Trump just retired another card-carrying member of the DC swamp. Tom Tillis just announced he'd rather go home than be primaried by the MAGA movement. Former Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina Mark Robinson will vote with Trump 100% of the time. He'd make a great senator for North Carolina. The White House said we're so close. The one big beautiful bill delivers tax cuts, border security and relief for Americans. But Dems are taking their damn time. Call your rep senators, tell them to hurry up and pass the bill. Study, relax, stay locked in, victories within reach. Okay. Z Van Fleet said Senator McCarthy was right. He was silenced, and since then, our institutions have been taken over by communists. It's time to fight back before it's too late. Now I've got to turn this down because my volume's not up very high at the moment.
One communist on the faculty of one university is one communist too many. One communist among the American advisors at Yalta was one communist too many. And even if there were only one communist in the State Department, even if there were only one communist in the State Department, that would still be one communist too many.
He's right. One communist is one communist too many. Josh Dunlap said this is how people in Venice show their feelings about Jeff Bezos. Protesters have been placing creepy Jeff Bezos mannequins throughout the Canal City as a response to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. Also, Jeff Bezos just happened to get married on the same day as one of his Washington Post journalists got exposed as a pedo. Oh, dear. Okay, yeah, look at the difference, man. I don't care about him either, but, like, she was better before. I don't know what this is. You look like a... Well, you can't look like a lizard person. Your eyes have gotten smaller, your lips have gotten bigger. I don't know what's going on. This is fake as. Okay. And this one, I mean, therefore I am, said there, oh, the irony. The same people who threw a fit over Bezos showing up at Trump's inauguration and lecture you about riding a bike to save the planet are the very ones who happily hopped on private jets to attend his wedding. Wake up, America. You're being played. All these people who think their shit doesn't stink. Sorry, but, you know, it's true. It stinks the worst, actually. I can't play it because it's got music in it. But you can see them. Bloody morons. I don't know how anyone looks up to these people, honestly. I believe the Kardashians were there. We probably didn't see that in the beginning. I don't know. There you go. Are they the Kardashians? I think they are. Oh, freaking hell, I've got no idea. Am I the only person in the world that hasn't seen the, what was it? The Kardashian show? What was it called? Oh, I've got no idea. Anyway, I never saw it. Thank God. I don't like them. I don't care for them. They're only famous because someone released porn on one of them. Kate said Albanese declined to acknowledge the threat posed by China's military build-up after the Chinese ambassador tried to downplay China's threat and warned of heavy fiscal burden with increased Australian defence spending. Of course he did, because China has him right where they want him, very much under their control. He maintained it was in Australia's national interest to invest in our capability and invest in our relationships after the Chinese ambassador's intervention. But we're not investing in our capability. We're not even providing adequately for what we need now. And investing in our relationship is Albo speak for doing what he's told. Because when Trump asked Albo to increase spending for military, China said no. Very interesting, isn't it? Doge Designer said the world would have been a far better place if politics never existed. You know what? I tend to agree. Amiri King said, check the date. This piece of chip tweeted this when Challenger exploded. New York City is cooked. Zoran Mamdani said, laugh my ass, the shuttle just exploded. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Hang on. It did not exist in 1986. Twitter was founded in 2006. Sorry, wipe that off. Good on the fact checkers for that one. Because I don't think Twitter was not, no, definitely not, no. Let me just tell you. Daisy May 4263 said, how about get forked? China's warned Anthony Albanese not to increase defence spending, claiming both countries are friends, not foes. No, China's taking over by infiltration into Australia. They don't even have to attack. They're just infiltrating. Senator Matt Canavan said for the first time since the early settlers, Australia can't feed itself. Our banks ring the warning bell on this catastrophe. Then these same banks refuse to lend to the coal, oil and gas projects that would help us not be reliant on overseas fertilisers, pesticides and plastics. If we don't have cheap energy, we can't have abundant and cheap food. We can't bank on food security. ANZ calls for action on supply chain vulnerabilities. I see controlled food shortages coming again. Rob Smith said Anthony Albanese's shrunken nuts are practically frozen off at his pathetic Canberra presser, shivering like a fool while he funnels endless billions into dodgy Chinese solar and wind to stop global boiling. Meanwhile, your electricity bill's getting hammered again today to pay for this green clown show. Total bloody farce. That's right, folks, another increase in electricity starting today. We had one about a month ago or less. So it's gone up again. Craig Kelly said coldest ever June for Canberra. Canberra's on track for its coldest ever June since records began in 1939, with a combined average of minima and maxima for the month to date, just over 5 degrees Celsius. In terms of minima, Canberra had averaged just minus 2.5 degrees Celsius for the month so far, the coldest in over 40 years. Every morning, bar 7 of the 28 days of the month so far, has been below zero, with the coldest in decades run of 3 consecutive days below -7 degrees Celsius last week. Now the capital is heading for another 4 consecutive nights of under -5 degrees Celsius. Days in Canberra have also been cold. It's more typical for cold nights to be accompanied by near or slightly above average days. However, the maxima for Canberra this June so far is tracking around 1 degree below average at 12.3 degrees Celsius. And it's not just Canberra. Goulburn is averaging 6.2 degrees Celsius in terms of average minima and maxima for June so far, the coldest since at least 1977. And yet 149 of the 150 politicians that were elected to the House of Representatives are supporters of net zero, happy to damage the Australian economy to theoretically avoid 0.01% degree, 0.01 degrees Celsius of warming. 1/100th of 1 degree Celsius by the year 2100. Dear God. Mum of Data Republicans said, regardless of how you feel about the big, beautiful bill, how do you feel about Chuck Schumer requiring this bill to be read aloud? I think it's a big waste of taxpayers' money. It's juvenile, rebellious, and just plain wrong. Won't accomplish a thing except making him look like the petulant child that he is. Well, it actually may have. I mean, everyone heard the bill now. Everyone who wanted to listen heard it. And so did Congress. They had to listen. Bro said people who believe in socialism don't understand a socialist world. You have to get off your fat, stinky, blue-haired asses and contribute equally. No more safe spaces. No more waking up at 12 p.m. And I can't read that last bit. I'm going to cough. Okay. Anyway, a lot of them are this. Yep. Because the people that sit on their asses and think that everyone else is going to pay for them, there won't be any of that. Tracy said, wow, veterans sure know how to charge for their services, don't they? Veterinarians, not veterans. Oh, my God. My sister had to rush her dog to the emergency vet last night because the dog was in pain, couldn't lie down at all. The vet is hoping it's just a sprained ankle, but he's concerned her dog could have bone cancer. The only way to confirm this is through an x-ray, which was going to cost over $1,000. How can they justify charging so much for an x-ray? It's ridiculously expensive. I don't know, but aren't normal x-rays only a couple of $100 for people? Why would it be different for a dog? Kobe Thatcher said it's a depressing experience walking through many of our shopping centres these days. Years ago, many of the small businesses would have been owned by hard-working Aussies or European families who'd lived there for years. Now just about every store is full of immigrants from China or India, most likely new arrivals who've come to our country in the last 10 years. A growing number of stores reflect a lean towards Asian culture and decline in our own. These are all opportunities that have been robbed from our own people. Time to pause immigration and make Australia great again. Okay. Craig Kelly said the UK has fallen. Only reform can save it, and a window of opportunity to do so is rapidly closing. If Farage fails, that's it. It's all over for Great Britain. Tommy Robinson said the same spastic openly calling for Israel soldiers to be murdered at Glastonbury also heard shouting, I heard you want your country back, shut the F up. This imbecile white lib's nodding along as imbecile white... Oh, my God, I can't even read today. Absolute clown show. Well, look, one of them had a wig on their head that she looked like a clown. Seriously. I'm not going to play it because he's a bloody moron. Wouldn't give it the time of day. Imogen Australia said this woman walked down the street with her partner's head in a bag, and it isn't a bigger story than the mushroom murder. Why? Maybe because she was the TV host at one stage. Yep, former TV host. Muslim convert, wasn't she? Wow. There you go, religion of pieces. Not peace, pieces. Where was this? Port Lincoln, South Australia, I think. Wow. Why? The narrative is life-threatening domestic violence is only initiated by men. Yeah, because women being toxic has zero political mileage. Wow. Freaking crazy woman. It's in the eyes, look. I don't know. Matthew Kamanzuli said this is Article 19 of the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I think Inman Grant and the entire E-Safety Commission is a breach. Albo MP Suzanne Susan-Lay, how does this pass your darling organisation's own tests? Article 19 said everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Alexandria Marshall said, good catch from Senator Malcolm Roberts. Here's what the E-Safety Commissioner said. Global collaboration is what we have to be doing. The internet's global. We know laws are national and local, and that's why we're the founders of the Global Online Safety Regulators Network, as we're much stronger together. A lot of these companies are as large and wealthy as nation states, so we need to band together with like-minded countries. Has the E-Safety Commissioner gone too far? Yes. He's saying she has. I'm saying, has she? Yes, she has. Yeah, early start, Shannon. The Real Joker said New Zealand's civil defence failed in the first most basic rule of public emergency response. Make messaging, information, instructions simple and clear for everyone to understand. So what in the living fuck is this gobbledygook shit right here? What the fuck does it even mean? What? I have no idea. I can't even pronounce it. Is it Rahui in place across T2, I don't know, Ahu? I've got no idea. Yeah, how is New Zealand Civil Defence making this message and information instructions simple and clear for everyone to understand? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Ben Fordham Live said we're in the middle of a baby drought, but a politician has an idea how to fix it. He suggested giving mothers a lifetime tax break. Get the full details here, and I believe this politician's in Queensland. Andy No said the Trump administration is jailing journalists. US Attorney DC said award-winning journalist arrested and charged with possession of child porn. Yep. So left will go. The Trump administration jailing journalists. Good on him. Craig Kelly said crony corporate capitalism. Bunnings Hardware, owned by Wesfarmers with a market capitalisation of $95 billion and reports $487 million in cash on hand, is receiving a $100 million special loan from the Albanese government for solar panels and electric car chargers. This is blatant corrupt cronyism. Corporate cronyism. Why does a wealthy, well-financed and highly profitable public company like Wesfarmers need to borrow money from the government? Is solar panels and EV chargers, if they're so great, why does the government need to loan money to wealthy public companies to install them? Where are Susan Lay and the new opposition treasurer Ted O'Brien? Why aren't they criticising this decision? How must struggling small businesses that are trying to compete against Bunnings feel as Albanese uses tax dollars that they pay to go to subsidise Bunnings with low-interest loans? Our nation is broken and I don't even know if it can be repaired. Oh, dear God. We're going down the shithole, man, fast. This is not the same person. Yeah, I don't think this is the same person. I don't know. Okay, there's a convoy heading to Canberra. This was on 28th, 2 days ago. Some call it a freedom movement, others call it a protest, but for those inside the convoy heading from Cairns to Canberra, it's something deeper, a last stand to be heard. They don't all speak with one voice. Some are focused on the Constitution, some are raising concern about government overreach, others feel their rights were violated during COVID or believe the justice system no longer serves the people. What binds them together is a shared feeling that something is wrong and that nobody in power is listening. What the convoy believes, many in the convoy believes that Australia's founding laws have been sidelined and that modern governments, federal and state, no longer operate within the limits of the Constitution. They talk about the original Commonwealth of Australia, loyalty to the Crown as protector of the people, concerns about foreign influence and corporate control, the idea the people are meant to be the highest authority under the law. Some believe in restoring systems from the past like common law or people's courts. Others are pushing for new systems based on direct community authority. What's clear is that it isn't about party politics, it's about a deeper call for accountability, transparency and national identity. Why so many are paying attention? The movement taps into something raw and real and a deep frustration with how ordinary Australians are treated, whether it's unfair fines, rising costs, or a feeling of being ignored by courts, councils and government officers. Many see the convoy as a chance to say, we've had enough and we're not alone. To some it's political, to others it's spiritual, and for a few it's simply a survival, an attempt to shake loose from debt pressure and a system they believe has failed them. Whether you agree with their methods or not, it's clear that the pain is real, and so is the need for a national conversation. The road ahead, as the convoy continues its journey, one thing is certain. It has already succeeded in drawing attention, creating unity amongst thousands of Australians who feel voiceless. The questions they're asking are not going away. Who really holds power in this country? Are our institutions still serving the people? I can answer that one. China, and no. What happens when trust in the system breaks down? Anarchy. You don't have to agree with every claim to recognise the heart behind it, and you don't have to be on the road to understand the need to be heard. Want to share your story? If you're part of the convoy or someone watching from home with questions of your own, Aussie News Tonight wants to hear from you, not to judge but to listen. The story isn't about headlines, it's about people. There you go. And that is Australian Patriot. Miss Smudge said, at this point, I'm convinced this bitch has just taken the piss. Machete attacks daily, citizens being maimed and killed, homeless people shitting in public streets, junkies all over the place, ambulances being ramped, the biggest state debt, and she's investing in fucking fish. Jacinda Allen, Premier of Victoria, said we're restocking Victoria's lakes and rivers with tens of thousands of rainbow trout. For what? You have to get a licence to fish these days. Oh dear. Rod D. Martin said Trump admin takes action after massive fraud uncovered at agency. Dems tried to protect from Doge. Democrats screamed when Doge auditors came to USAID. It didn't take long to figure out why. Now the SBA is auditing all contracts going back 15 years. USAID turned out to be a giant global Democrat slush fund, and they couldn't even be honest with each other. DOJ just exposed a $550 million bribery scandal there. 4 USAID officers took bribes for 10 years to rig foreign aid contracts worth more than $500 million. The scheme, cash bribes, country club weddings, fake jobs for family, mortgage down payments, NBA luxury suite tickets, laptops, burner phones, shell companies, all to funnel contracts to preferred Democrat vendors on your dime. One of those contractors, Vistant, awarded $800 million US aid deal in 2023 to address root causes of migration in Central America. Translation, they got paid to fail at the border crisis Democrats created. Vistant's CEO and a 2D contractor funneled bribes through a third party to hide the scheme. The DOJ says USAID's own official received more than $1 million in bribes. Your government has operated this way for years without oversight. No wonder Democrats freaked out about Doge. Now, SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler is ordering a full-scale audit of every SBA contract officer since 2010. She's calling this what it is, systemic failure, collapse in safeguards and a breakdown in federal integrity. But turn on the lights and the rats and roaches run. This lady's audit begins immediately with all high dollar and limited competition contracts in SBA's 8A program. Violators will be referred to the DOJ, funds will be recovered, no more free passes for corrupt bureaucrats and fake small businesses. The same people who claimed cutting US aid would hurt the poor are protecting bribery rackets and slush funds. President Trump and his team are dismantling at root and branch, and not a moment too soon. Okay, if you enjoyed this, you can follow Rod D. Martin on X. Okay, let's read it anyway. Stephen Molyneux. It's essential to remember that between a third and half of people have no inner monologue or dialogue. Holy shit. Here I sit arguing with myself all the time, and some people have no inner monologue or dialogue with themselves. Do they ever question themselves? They don't debate with themselves. They have no inner conversations. They exist in a blur of images and sensations and feelings, and they are all around you. Oh, dear God, please tell me that's not true. I have heard that before. Oh, imagine that. Not ever, questioning yourself? You know, oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, I can't imagine it because I constantly do it. DOQ said Patton said after the war that we were fighting on the wrong side. Think about what that means and why it was never taught in school. It's interesting. Clandestine said everyone has an opinion on the one big beautiful bill, but for me, my stance is very simple. We just watched Trump stop 3 wars and the tariff thing is actually working. If he says the bill is good, I say give him whatever the hell he wants. All the experts continue to be wrong and Trump continues to prove that he actually knows what he's doing. Trump continues to prove that he has a plan and we elected him to carry out his plan. Will the plan work? We shall see, but I think Trump has more than earned the benefit of the doubt. Just give him what he needs to complete the wall, fund more ICE agents, conduct mass deportations, fund our military, etc., in addition to tax cuts, and once the perimeter is secure and the threat to our nation is eliminated, then we can shift our priorities. Call me crazy, but I trust Trump. Bingo. Okay, old soldiers, for the people who don't know, actually I thought we had established that years ago. This is mind-blowing. Oil and gas may not be fossil fuels, but rather a renewable energy source created by a geothermal reaction between the solid mantle and the liquid core. Yet they are not from fossils. Oh dear God. That's to make you think that you can run out, when it's actually a reoccurring thing. It is renewable. Just Eileen said old mate seems to be really struggling in the presses and is more cranky than usual. What's going on? He's freaking starting to collapse, hopefully. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there for today, guys. It's going to be a quick one because I have things to do before it pees down with rain. Because it will pee down with rain. It's coming. Deb, how you going? Lucette, how you going? Slightly earlier today, you approve? Yeah, well, I'm thinking if I can, I can try and go half an hour earlier. Kai said, Deb can't stay. This is just not good timing for me, unfortunately. Got to cook and all the happy. Act for Tony. Oh, God love you and Tony, Kai. Kai said, got to go play happy. I'll listen in as much as possible. Oh, God love you. Kai said, no idea what I'm cooking yet. Probably eggs of some kind because of it being all there is. Oh, Kai. Anyway, much love, guys. Lisette said, I love scrambled eggs made with cheese instead of milk. Oh, yum. Yep, it is early. Kai said, eat it for a month. Zena said, hi, everyone. This is a surprise. Yes, I went a bit early this morning. I just wanted to, do it before it rains heavy. Hey, Zena. Zena said it was only 940 pages. I bet that lady who had to read it resigns or at least feels abused. Zena said, Valerie Jarrett. Zena said, I never wanted culture of diversity. I preferred to go to their country to experience their culture. If I didn't go, I didn't want to know, but it was forced on us, yes. Yeah, I would rather see people's culture in their own country and go and visit and see their culture. Not bring it here. Zena said, so the red under the bed was true after all. Mm-hmm. Deb said, but smells foul. The true inner ugly is coming out now. Zena said, 100% Deb, even I am more attractive in my natural plain state than that freak plastic Barbie sex doll. Exactly. Deb said, keeping up with the Kardashians. That's it, keeping up with the Kardashians. Father was a lawyer of OJ and sex tapes. Oh, okay, makes sense. Lucette said, I never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians either. Shallow, moronic Luciferians who stay young by having infusions of baby blood. Yep. Deb said, I saw it once while cleaning rich people's homes. Zena said, Diddy trial was just another OJ reality show. Lucette said, Zena, do you think Diddy will walk too? Deb said, I think you're right, Zena. Zena said, no one's been charged or did. All the witnesses get immunity, and if they did, Diddy better not get off. It'll be a real circus performance then. I don't know if he will, because I heard that what I reported on last week of, even though I wouldn't put it past him because of James Comey's daughter being the prosecutor, but apparently that was a fake story. Okay, so I've got to correct that as well. I don't know, but apparently it was that Diddy might get off. So we'll see. I believe they're deliberating now. Deb said, how does he sleep at night? Trader Albanese. I'd like to know that too. Flyby said, just looking at Albanese, little big head comes to mind. Yes. Hey, Flyby Stew, how you going? Lucette said, so you're having unusually cold winter while we're having unusually hot weather. Someone said the earth has tilted on its axis. It might be true. Deb said, vet charges twice as much. Deb said, for me, winter is cold and summer is hot. Me lives spring and autumn. And yeah, I prefer the spring and autumn as well. But I love winter because I want it to snow, but then it just doesn't snow. And I'm like, why? So they said the true economy is only 10 or 20%. Most of the shopping these days is storefront money laundering. They don't care if they sell anything. It's kind of like a classy Thailand. Yeah, that's funny because I often wondered how certain shops do any business whatsoever and how they stay open. Lucette said, I wonder if Bob Dylan can sue Bob Villain for defamation. Zena said they be in fancy buildings now instead of on the street. Same, but different. Yep, Shannon had an early start. Yeah, sneaky early start stream. Deb said, I don't speak, dickhead. Shannon said, Iran press release says it's successfully destroyed 12 US deep penetration bombs with 3 of its nuclear sites. Good one, Shannon. Lucette said, Iranians' propaganda is surreal. He was joking there too. Like, Iranians destroyed 12 US deep penetration bombs with 3 of its nuclear sites. And that was the 12 that the US bombed. The 12 bombs that the US let off on its 3 nuclear sites, yeah. Deb said, Timmy got a moisture meter and it has many more features than mine. God love them. Zena said, should we become a constitutional republic? Yeah, but under the right circumstances. You can't just let that happen to be taken over by willy-nilly by anyone, just anyone. Deb said, I think you're right, Hev. Albo does not look the same. He doesn't. Shannon said, you seem to undertone just fine, Debs. Zena said, they highlighted the wrong voice. Zena said, Albo looks meaner, colder. Deb said, I wonder if it's the same convoy from the last protest. I don't know. Zena said, was any money funneled to Kamala to turn a blind eye when she was bored as Tsar? Probably. She wasn't doing anything else, so that's probably why she was paid. Turn a blind eye. Deb said, gotta love the slush fund. Hey, Maria, how you going? Shannon said this is going to be biblical. Trump is using all the deep state attacks and traps against them. Yes, they are. Where was I up to? Deb said, oh my God, that would be great. Silence in my head. I would love a quiet mind. Lucette said, Deb, yeah, I'd be able to sleep every night. Yes. Deb said, Trump plan is working, is making them lose their mind. Yeah, it is. Shannon said, everything is a lie. Old oil fields refill. Yeah, exactly. Deb said, I hope the wood is undercover. Well, it is, under a tarp. Shannon said, we had snow this morning. Shannon. Oh, well, frost on the ground. It looked like snow. Shannon. And Deb said, lucky you, Shannon. Yeah, we had a frost on the ground the last few days, but we haven't had any snow, and now it's raining. You know, temperature's going to sit above 3 degrees Celsius just so it doesn't snow. It needs to get down to 2 or less for it to snow here. 2 degrees Celsius or less, and it will snow, but not at 3. 3 degrees, you'll just get like rain, cold rain. And I think when it's that cold, why not just snow, please, for me? Oh, it's my grandson's birthday today. So I'm going to my daughter's tonight for dinner. And then hopefully it snows on my birthday, which is next week. I'm hoping. Can I ask for snow for my birthday? Is that too much to ask for? Probably. I ask every year because, funnily enough, when I was in Ireland, I was born a summer baby, and now I'm in Australia. I'm a winter baby. So, yeah, why not? Can I just ask for snow? Shannon said, not luck. I wore shorts all night at work. Oh, wow. Deb said, I grew up on different people sharing the culture, but in unity for the new country they've come to. Yep. Zena said, you know, Hev, Lucette, I haven't really followed it. I only inquired enough to know the highlights. The rest is pretty salacious. Deb said, just a bit cold. Shannon, brass monkey. Lucette said, Zena, same here. Deb said, it's not climate change. I believe we have more going on in the sky, hence the spraying the sky to hide something. Deb, I don't know what you're talking about there. Zena said, Deb, consider that the climate they are talking about might just be the political climate, or the science about warming is just big red herring to launder their money. Deb said, Tim Ayres seemed to win most fun things bigger. His is bigger and better. Love our Tim Ayres. I don't get it. Deb. Deb said, yes, I talk too much to myself, yes. Or if I go into a room and forget what I'm in there for, I go, what the fuck are you doing, woman? To myself, you know. Great, now you just forgot, you know. Anyway. Zena said, look at the social climate, the political climate, the climate inside our bodies. Now they've been jabbed. That's the real climate change. Deb said, Shannon is a tease. Hurling insults said 250 scumbag names involved in insurance fraudsters. FBI just arrested. Names. Good to know. Hurling insults. Nice name. Good name. Deb said, I have receipt of stuff in our solar system. Hurling insults said, Dougal can suck my... Yeah, okay, cool. Deb said, okay, we're all praying Hev gets snowed in. Yeah, for my birthday next week, can I have some snow? Okay. Stu said, one man's meat is another guy's lousy luck. Hev, you need to go to the snowy mountains and have a short holiday, or Tassie. Yeah, I can't. I cannot afford to at all. I cannot do anything. Like, I would go to Victoria with the convoy, except I can't afford it. So, yeah, we're just going to stay where we are and pray for snow here. Oh, by the way, funnily enough, just random shit happening in my life, right? I walked up to the laundry door the other day and turned the handle to open it, and the handle broke off in my hand. Now, I'm not strong at all, okay? I'm very, very weak. So I don't know what's going on with these doorknobs. But this is the second doorknob in this house in 5 years that has broken off in my hand. I want to know what is going on with these doorknobs. I had to replace a doorknob. Me, right? And I have never replaced a doorknob before and did it straight away within 5-10 minutes and went, oh my God, that was easy. But anyway, you know, like the first one was the front door handle. It just snapped off in my hand and I'm like, well, that's good. It's great. Can't get inside. Oh dear. Anywho, I ended up changing that, getting the door open and changing that. So there you go. Okay, Deb's explaining what she was talking about with Tim Air. And how you going, Stu? Deb said, Tim Air's car is bigger, etc. Oh, okay. Out to lunch said, how do you remember that you were in there something? How do you remember you were in there something? I don't know what you're saying, out to lunch. For something. Oh, yeah. Because I walk in there with all determination to go and grab something, and the minute I step over the threshold of that door, I go, what did I come in here for? You know, it's like always thinking of the hereafter. What am I here after? That's a bit of a religious joke. Stu said we've been getting some crazy fog. Out to lunch said for something. Deb said we could see if they send the snowmaker over your way. Out to lunch has had to replace a sink faucet. Deb said we've had doorknobs fall off, but we are heavy-handed. Yeah, well, I'm not, and I'm not real strong either, so, like, I don't get why doorknobs are just coming off in my hand. Stu said, I'm okay, have been sleeping like an old snoozer. Yeah, me too, I'm getting plenty of sleep lately. Anyway, with that, I'm going to leave it there for today because I have to go and do some things, and then I've got to go down to my daughter's house for my grandson's birthday, and hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. If I don't come back with a live, I will make a video. Anyway, guys, hope you have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.